What's up, y'all? This Kamani, man. I'm back with another teaching video. This particular video is gonna be called Dope House. You know what I'm saying? Basically speaking on how, you know, a lot of non-believers are drug addicts. You know what I'm saying? Not drug addicts, but spiritual drug addicts. You know what I'm saying? Simple drug addicts. And how also, you know, some believers are spiritual drug addicts, spiritually, what I'm saying, addicted to sinful drugs, you know what I'm saying? To, the sinful drug that can harm them, without them acknowledging it, and even those who do know that that know that it can damage them, you feel me? And it's based on Luke chapter 15. And let me explain that. It says tax collectors and other notorious sinners often came to listen to Jesus teach. This made the Pharisees and teachers of religious law complain that he was associated with such sinful people, even eating with them. So Jesus told them this story. If a man has 100 sheep and one of them gets lost, what will he do? Won't he leave the 99 others in the wilderness and go to search for the one that is lost until he finds it? And when he has found it, he will joyfully carry it home on his shoulders. When he arrives, he will call together his friends and neighbors, saying, "Rejoice with me, because I have found my lost sheep." In the same way, there is more joy in heaven over one lost sinner who repents and returns to God than over 99 others who are righteous and haven't strayed away. Or suppose a woman has 10 silver coins and loses one. Won't she light a lamp and sweep the entire house and search carefully until she finds it? And when she finds it, she will call in her friends and neighbors and say, "Rejoice with me, because I have found my lost coin." In the same way, there is joy in the presence of God's angels when even one sinner repents. And to illustrate the point further, Jesus told them this story. A man had two sons. The younger son told his father, "I want my share of your estate now before you die." So his father agreed to divide his wealth between his sons. A few days later, this younger son packed all his belongings and moved to a distant land, and there he wasted all his money in wild living. By the time his money ran out, a great famine swept over the land, and he began to starve. He persuaded a local farmer to hire him, and the man sent him into his fields to feed the pigs. The young man became so hungry that even the pods he was feeding the pigs looked good to him, but no one gave him anything. When he finally came to his senses, he said to himself, "At home, even the hired servants have found enough to spare, and here I am dying of hunger. I will go home to my father and say, 'Father, I have sinned against both heaven and you, and I am no longer worthy of being called your son. Please take me on as a hired servant.' So he returned home to his father, and while he was still a long way off, his father saw him coming. Filled with love and compassion, he ran to his son, embraced him, and kissed him. His son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against both heaven and you, and I am no longer worthy of being called your son.' But his father said to the servants, 'Quick, bring the finest robe in the house and put it on him. Get a ring for his finger and sandals for his feet, and kill the calf we have been fattening. We must celebrate with a fast. For this son of mine was dead and has now returned to life. He was lost, but now he is found.' So the party began. Meanwhile, the older son was in the field working. When he returned home, he heard music and dancing in the house, and he asked one of the servants what was going on. 'Your brother is back,' he was told, 'and your father has killed the fattened calf. We are celebrating because of his safe return.' The older brother was angry and wouldn't go in. His father came out and begged him, but he replied, 'All these years I've slaved for you and never once refused to do a single thing you told me to. And in all that time you never gave me even one young goat for a fast with my friends. Yet when this son of yours comes back after squandering your money Prostitutes you celebrate by killing the fattened calf. His father said to him, "Look, dear son, you have always stayed by me, and everything I have is yours. We had to celebrate this happy day, for your brother was dead and has come back to life. He was lost, but now he is found." So that all those parables, all three of those parables, explaining like different, you know, incidents of how some people left, you know what I'm saying, and how God, returned and searched for it. But a lot of times, man, like believers in general, like things get so devastated on us that we end up running back to the dope house. We end up going back to the drugs. You know what I'm saying? I'm not actually talking about crack cocaine and marijuana and all that, or uh, 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 crack cocaine pills and nothing like that. But a lot of times we go back to sinning. We go back to enduring sin, and getting high on sin like drugs and just stick with that because things may not be happening the way we want it, or things ain't going the way we expected, or things are getting too complicated. Um, things is frustrated, you know, um, things ain't operating correctly. You feel me? So a lot of times we go back to the drugs. And Satan is always slanging drugs. He's always slanging the drugs to us. You know what I'm saying? When temptation comes, that's just like a a dope dealer, you know, sitting in the corner, just standing on the corner of the street, willing to offer anybody some drugs so he could get paid on. But the difference with that is Satan is not trying to get paid for it. He's trying to damage your soul so you can torment in hell. So instead of him getting paid for you sinning and enduring sin and sniffing sin in your spirit, he's actually getting control of your spirit and continuously trying to damage it so you can torment in hell with him. You feel me? So Satan is the dope dealer. He's the dope dealer. That his crack house is sin. It's filled with sin, and the things that are filled with sin can get you caught in hell. Can send you to hell. You feel me? And a lot of believers have went back to the dope house, went back to the crack house. You know what I'm saying? And sniffed at some of the crack, some of the drugs. You know what I'm saying? But God is trying to, reach out, get those people back to him. You know what I'm saying? To tell them like come to rehab, come to rehab. You know what I'm saying? You are my child. I don't want you to be on drugs. I want you to be clean. I want you to be recovered from this sinful drug that you're chasing, that running towards. You're running away from me, from cleansing you, but you enduring and giving into the things, into the drugs to overcome your pain or your struggles or your frustrations or your depressions. But I can recover that by you coming to rehab to me. Christ is the rehab. Satan is the dope house. It's already non-believers that's already high on crack anyway. A lot of non-believers are already in the dope house. They constantly in the dope house, and the dope houses is going to strip clubs or submitting fornication or going to kickbacks or going to wild parties or having drinking contests and having one night stands or having groupies, group sex or whatever the case may be, or smoking blunts or smoking drugs or crack cocaine or crack pills or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? That is of this world and that is corrupted is the is the dope house. You know what I'm saying? And when believers face temptation, that's like a dope dealer is offering drugs to a person that does not smoke drugs at all, but they're willing to offer them that drug. You know what I'm saying? That's the same way how Satan tempts us. You know what I'm saying? Don't fall for the tricks of the drugs, homie. Don't fall for the crack house. Don't run back to the crack house. You know what I'm saying? Don't run back to the dope house. The dope house can have you back the way that you used to be when you was constantly going to the dope house. You feel me? You know, a lot of us when we was lost, we was constantly, at the dope house. You know what I'm saying? 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Constantly at the dope house. But Christ got us out of that and, you know, got us involved in rehab where we cleanse, where we don't need to go to the dope house, where we don't need drugs to feel good. We don't need that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, basically explaining to you believers, you know what I'm saying? Don't run back to the dope house, man. Don't run back to the dope house. Stay away from the dope house. Stay in rehab. Stay in rehab. Let Christ be your rehab. You feel me? And to you non-believers, man, get out of the dope house, man. Get out of the dope house. Stop smoking the drugs, homie, because the more you smoking drugs, the more Satan is damaging your spirit. So when you die and leave this earth, he's gonna torment your soul, homie. Get out of the dope house, man. You know what I'm saying? The only way that you can get out of the dope house is by accepting Jesus Christ in your life. Accepting him, repenting of your sins, man. That's the only way that can get you out of the dope house. But besides that, you're gonna be stuck in the dope house, smoking drugs every day, 24/7. Stop smoking them drugs, homie. You know what I'm saying? Stop smoking that sinful drugs. You know what I'm saying? You know, get away from Satan. He's the dope dealer. You know what I'm saying? And Christ is the rehabilitation for us. He's Christ is the one that recover us. You feel me? So, you non-believers, man, please, man. Christ wants you to get in rehab, man. You know, get in rehab. Get away from the dope house, man. And you non-believer, and you believers, don't run back to the dope house. Even though things may get frustrated sometimes and you feel like, man, I'm about to do this because I feel frustrated, I feel angry, or I feel uh, confused or frustrated or depressed or whatever the case may be, man. Don't run back to the dope house, homie. The dope house is gonna have you messed up. You know what I'm saying? Don't run back to the dope house. Stay away from the dope house. Satan is waiting to sling that drug to you, homie. Satan is waiting to sling that drug to you so you can fall into the dope, into the drugs, and be living and constantly running to the dope house. Don't run to the dope house, homie. Stay away from the dope house. So I hope y'all learned something from this, man. It's more to come, and love y'all, man. And God bless y'all, and just you know, just stay away from the dope house, homie. Stay away from the dope house. Straight up. Stay away from the dope house and stay away from Satan. He's the dope dealer. He's the dope dealer, and he's always willing to give people his drugs, his products, his sinful products to make us drug addicts, man, to make us, sinful drug addicts, you know what I mean? And have our spirits damaged instead of our flesh being damaged, our spirits being damaged. You know what I'm saying? By giving into the things of the flesh, you know what I'm saying? So stay away from the dope house, man. You know? God bless y'all, man. Peace.